Hello. Today, we'll walk through implementing Naver login in the 2025 version. Here's the agenda. Sign up as a Naver developer. Configure iOS and Android separately. Write and test the code. Share some useful tips to wrap up the video. Since this is a 10-minute tutorial, we'll focus strictly on the login process. All relevant links are available in the video description. First, go to the Naver developer page and sign up. Once you log in, you'll see the Naver login option. Click it and then proceed with the Open API application. Let's call this the Naver developer page. Don't close it, you'll need it throughout the setup. Start by entering your app name, the one you're integrating Naver login into. Then, select the APIs you want to use. This determines what user data your app will request at login, e.g., name, gender. You can also specify whether each item is required or optional. If you're planning to release the app publicly, we recommend keeping these fields optional at first to speed up the approval process and avoid unnecessary complications. If you mark any fields as required, you must justify why you need them. For more details, refer to the Review Policies section on the page. Since we're just testing, I selected several optional fields. Under Environment Settings, choose only Android and iOS if your app is mobile only. We'll start with Android. For the Play Store URL, since the app isn't published yet, just enter a placeholder. I used the KakaoTalk Play Store URL. For the package name, use the one found in your Flutter project. Click Register to complete registration. Go back to the top, click API Settings, and scroll down to configure iOS. Enter the App Store URL, again, I used KakaoTalks, and define a custom URL scheme. This will be used in your info.plist later. Next, install the Naver Flutter Login Library. Go to the Install page, copy the command, and paste it into your terminal. Once installed, import it as shown in the documentation. The sample code is available under Sample. Scroll down to the build function in the example and copy the body content up to list view. Then, in your project, create a Get Naver Login button. Function inside your body and paste the code there. Replace the final part with a semicolon. If UI errors occur, like in my case, wrap it with a single child scroll view. Now let's fix the errors. Copy all the functions listed below the example and paste them into the bottom of your project file. If you get variable errors, copy the missing variables from the example as well. To avoid conflicts, rename generic variable names by appending for Naver. If you see errors like show snack bar, just replace them with print to keep things simple for this 10-minute demo. That wraps up the coding part. Now let's move to the iOS configuration. Click the README and scroll to the iOS section. First, run pod install inside the iOS folder. Then open info.plist, copy the entire key block from the docs, and paste it in. Replace the consumer key, consumer secret, and URL scheme with the values from your Naver developer page. You can find this info under the Overview and API Settings tabs. Make sure you don't have duplicate keys like CF bundle URL types. If they already exist, merge them. Next, open appdelegate.swift. Import the required module and scroll down to find the application launch section. Based on your Xcode version, use the appropriate snippet. I use the newer version. Feel free to use mine if our Xcode versions are similar. Now let's test on iOS. When I launched the app, the login status showed as not logged in. Tapping the login button launched the Naver login page. You must use the account you registered with on the Naver developer page since we're still in test mode. If you're planning to launch the app publicly, scroll down the developer page and click the Submit for Review button. This will allow users to log in using their own Naver accounts. After I clicked Agree on the consent screen, for the additional data I requested, the login completed successfully. Let's now set up Android. Open strings.xml. If it doesn't exist, create one in the res/values folder. Paste in the required values and replace the placeholders with your actual app data. Update the Android manifest.xml accordingly. Finally, open main activity and update it based on the documentation. Now test on Android. Since I had previously logged in, it automatically logged in again. That's it for Naver login. I've also documented common errors and fixes I encountered during development. Check them out if you run into issues. Thank you.